Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. And tonight I am looking at something special. Well, special in the fact that it is very special price. I went a little bit of shopping yesterday at my local supermarket, and I went through the whiskey aisle. Well, you cannot really call it the whiskey aisle. In fact, they only had two whiskies available. One was a blended Scotch, and they had a local whiskey. And as of course you've seen in the title, it is the Goldlys Single Grain, a Belgian single grain whiskey. So I was quite intrigued. I did a review on one of the other Belgian distilleries, the Belgian L, and I loved it. So I will also put the link in the description with regards to the Belgian L. Very, very nice whiskey. So I was quite intrigued. So how much did I pay for it? €15, €15 for this bottle. And of course I couldn't just put it down, so I had to take it and see what it's all about. Hopefully it is something good. So I went blind. I have no idea. I've never even heard of this distilleries. So I was quite looking forward to having a review on this one. So it is matured in ex-bourbon cask. It is bottled at 40% ABV. Of course, I don't say anything, or I can't find any information with regards to the color added, but I presume there's going to be quite a lot of color added. And of course it will be chill filtered. Now, as to the age, I have had a look on their website. It was a little bit strange because you have to really dig to find it, and eventually I got to the bottle. Above that they have a bottle also that they make, and they proudly put a 3-year-old age statement on it. So on this one, they gave me no information. So I presume this is I less than 3 years. I would venture. I'm not sure because they don't tell me how old the whiskey is. So they have quite a lot of writing at the back with regards to a little bit of PR business. So in the front, no information, just a 40% ABV. The name this is the Goldlys Family Reserve, and in the back I actually had to take a little bit of a picture of it to see if there's any information. Getting old, so can't really read it. Very fine print. So they do also give me a little bit more information, which I do appreciate it. So they use first fill bourbon cask, and a single malt whiskey aged in first fill Oloroso sherry. So there's a little bit of a Oloroso sherry in this one as well, and it is bottled by Fuller's Distillery here in Belgium on the banks of the Lys River. So hence the Lys or Lys, I'm not sure how they pronounce it, Lys. So that means the golden river of the Lys. So that is what they have. I also have a tasting note, but I don't want to have a look at that. Maybe we can look at afterwards to see what they do pick up. So on the whiskey itself, the color, like I said, I don't know. That is a little pale, maybe light straw color, not a very dark color to it. So on the nose, on the Goldlys Belgian Single Grain whiskey, you know, it's quite a nice, light, citrusy, little bit of a fruity note coming out. There's also a nice sweetness to it, and I also get a little bit of a pear note coming out. That's something that I would really also expect maybe from some of the Speyside whiskies, the light bourbon cask whiskies. So there is a lightness to it, and I must say I'm quite enjoy this one. So a little bit of a caramel note, just a hint of it, and I also get a little bit of a vanilla in the back. So really pleasant, nothing complex. A little bit of that Asian pear note coming out. So the alcohol, 40% ABV. We give it a little bit of agitation just to irritate Ralphie. You do get the alcohol, and you do get the youthfulness of this alcohol. So there's a little bit of that ethanol note coming out. That just indicates that this is a very young whiskey. But if you don't agitate it and you just linger, it is quite light pleasant. I do like it. At 15 euros a bottle, I think this is going to be a winner. Well, especially on the nose. So on the taste, cheers. So on the taste, it's a lot less sweeter. It's very thin. It's quite watery, actually. And I was a little bit surprised with that. That wateriness of it. It feels like you're drinking a little bit of whiskey and a lot of water that was added to it already. Let me just try again. There's a hint of a dark chocolate coming out. Actually quite pleasant on the second sip. You get that warm mouthfeel to it. A hint of a creamy note also coming out on the second sip. And a hint of a tannins and a little bit of oak coming out as well. So, yeah, this is a very young whiskey. Let me just give it a try. It is nothing complex. I think this is something that you would give to somebody that has got no idea about whiskey. Somebody that is going to end up adding a Coke or something else to this one. It is a real, well, this is a bargain whiskey, and I think there's a lot of people that buy it. People that are not really interested in exploring the flavors and the taste of what a whiskey can offer. They just want something to add to their drink, or maybe add to some dishes that need some brandy, or maybe even in a cocktail. So this one is a little bit of a hit and miss. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy another bottle of this. Like I said, it is nice on the nose. It's drinkable on the taste, but it's not exploring whiskey for me. So my final thoughts on this one. I would definitely not recommend it if you are a whiskey drinker that's been doing this for a couple of years. You are going to be a little bit disappointed in it. If you have never had whiskey, then of course you might think this is quite a nice whiskey, and it's an affordable whiskey. Score-wise, I'm going to give it a 60 out of 100. I think that is the lowest score that I ever gave a whiskey. Definitely not my cup of tea. Definitely not ticking any of the boxes. But I know there's a lot of people that will like it. So let me know, have you tried this one? What do you think? And as a final thought, let me just see what notes do they have, which I think is quite funny sometimes. So in this one, they talk about an intense vanilla. There is some vanilla, but definitely not intense. When they talk about a herbal note, no, there's nothing. Well, I don't get any herbal notes on this. And they talk it's pleasantly smooth, woody flavors from the first full Oloroso sherry cask. I think that could be correct. I do get that woody tannins or the oaky tannins coming out. If they would have told me that this is a sherry cask finish on a blind tasting, I would definitely not pick that up. There's no sherry influences on the nose. And then they have a finish of licorice and caramel. Caramel I can relate to, maybe a little bit of a burnt caramel. Licorice, definitely I don't get any licorice on that. So that is me on the tasting notes. A little bit of a hit and miss. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, or dislike and subscribe. Leave a comment, but always remember to like it or dislike it to create a little bit of a buzz on YouTube so that they can start advertising my channel as well. So, see you next time. Cheers.